In a world that's obsessed with showing off, the most grounded people are the ones who do not show off. They don't post. They don't chase people around. And then somehow they have more peace, more clarity, and more power than everybody else. If you think that silence means insecurity, you should think again. The people who stay off of the feeds, they're often the most self-assured. They're not afraid to be seen. They've just outgrown the need to be seen. And there's a couple different reasons why that is. Number one, they don't need validation. These are the people who don't need to narrate what they're doing in their lives. They don't wear their lives on their feed for all of the other people to see. They don't market all of their milestones, not because they're ashamed, but because they're anchored in their own life and in themselves. Their growth is sacred and it's private to them. It's not staged. They validate themselves in private. They don't post for likes and for views. They're not here for the applause. They're here for themselves. They don't need anyone else. Also, they like themselves and they don't need anyone else to like them. You have to understand that confidence doesn't need external validation. It walks in a room quietly and everybody notices. The second thing, these people trade attention for peace. In a culture that confuses exposure and views with connection, these people decide to opt out and they do so intentionally. They know that the most important parts of their life do not have to be shared with other people, and they don't want to turn their joy into a post for recognition. They protect their peace in the way that some people protect their image. They know the cost of constant visibility. They know that being unseen is actually power, and they don't want to be accessible to everyone, only those who matter to them. The third thing is they're not missing, they're mastering. Silence is often mistaken for absence. But for these people, silence is where the work is actually happening. They're creating their art, they're building their life, they're building their businesses, they're re-entering themselves. They're focusing on who they are becoming versus who they are showing themselves to be. They're not off of the grid. They're just on their own path. They're not checking in with strangers. They're checking in with themselves. They're not falling behind. They're so much further ahead than everyone else because they're doing while other people are posting. They don't need to update the entire world. They're not posting about it because they're in it. And mastery and anything requires undivided attention. And the fourth thing, they are lone wolves by choice. They're not antisocial. They're just energetically discerning. They're not withdrawn. They're wise. They know what happens when you hand too many people access to your nervous system and give them attention. So they decide to lead themselves. They move in silence. They share selectively. They speak when it adds value, not when it adds noise. And their privacy is incredibly important to them. It's a boundary that they have. It's what makes their presence so potent when they do decide that they want to be seen. Lone wolves don't chase the pack. They build their own path. And so you don't need to be loud to be powerful. You don't need to be public to be growing in your life. You don't need to be seen to be someone who's significant in this world. So disappear and become somebody great.